During one of the yoga teacher trainings that we did here, and I guess last year already, one of the yoga teacher participants said to me, "Wow, that's some crazy decoration you guys have in this place." So I wanted to talk about the art in the place, the crazy decoration, and explain to you what it's really about. You know, I guess on one level it is crazy decoration. I mean, I don't think you'll find any of this in any of the furniture stores. You know, Bed and Beyond does not have any of this. There is no mall or online anything you can go to and acquire one of these for your living room. All of the art not just in this space, but in the entire house is actually deeply connected to it is a representation of my own personal history. Everything here is something I am personally connected to, or it represents something I am connected to personally. And I tell you that because, one, you can appreciate the art a little differently now, but the second thing is, remember, I went to Indiana University. It's a pretty funky place. I came out of a little town in Indiana, and how is it possible? Even 99% of the yoga teachers who come in here don't have a clue what any of this art represents. I'm endlessly stunned by the lack of understanding of the cultural context of yoga that American yoga teachers, have. But that's a whole different issue. The art represents a personal part of me. And how did it happen that a person from Indiana in the 60s, suddenly becomes a person that all of these various objects represents? All this art is my life. Every bit of it. Well, and for a lot of us, it's our life. That's because, I understood doing yoga that I was energy. I understood that I was energy, and I grew that flow. That's what I did. I didn't worry about a job or a career or in anything. I focused on growing the flow. And as I grew that flow, I understood that what I was doing was loving God and loving life and loving everything that was an expression of that life, all of which is divine. In growing that flow, I came to an experience, a personal, palpable experience of the total unity of everything. I started, doing this. I started this to know God and to become one with God, frankly. I had already gotten over the Catholic idea of God by that time. And I don't ordinarily use that word, but I want to make it as personal as I can in this conversation because personal is important. Personal is the pathway that we will reach the infinite. And so having that experience by growing the flow of the total unity of everything, I experienced that there's only one thing, and that is the goddess, The goddess is, I call it the goddess. The goddess is everything. Everything. The goddess is everything. There's only one thing. So then we come to the question of, if everything is one thing, when we die, what happens? Where do we go? Of course, you guys all probably picked up on the really intense buzz this week when the Pope said, there's no such thing as hell. He was quoted as saying that in an Italian newspaper, and then the Vatican ran around and said, oh, no, he didn't really say that, but maybe he did. What happens when we die? Where do we go if there's only one thing? We don't go anywhere. And so, all of this art, every bit of it, we display, not as some kind of idolatry where we're worshiping something or another, anything. The art is to remind us, of all of the profound depth and ancient wisdom and nourishment that is ever present in the environment and available for any of us who can open ourselves beyond the limitation of our cultural conditioning and begin to draw into our hearts and ever more deeply the extraordinary and profound understanding that is the very essence of life itself, that we're completely connected in. Take a little time every day to dissolve the tensions in yourself, to find the flow of your own spirit within you, and begin to ever more deeply open your heart to yourself first. There's a lot of blah, blah, blah on Facebook about self-love. I have to love myself more. What does that actually mean? How do you love yourself? I'm going to go out and buy myself chocolates? I think I'm going to love myself with a present of a bottle of tequila. Loving ourselves is really simple. To love yourself, you want to sit down and feel your heart and dissolve the tensions in your heart and connect to the love in your heart and start to breathe it. That's loving yourself. And if you do that every day, in 5 years, you're going to feel unbelievably good, and everybody you know is going to feel good about you. Well, not everybody, I'm sorry to say, but most people. I don't know. My advice to you on that score is you'll be a lot better off if you never wear an orange skirt. But in any case, feel the flow, open your heart, start to begin to really, live from your spirit and love your life. And don't talk it. That's bullshit. Do it. Thanks for listening to me jabber tonight. Namaste.